Hello, everybody, and welcome into the first ever episode of the Blitz Breakdown on the Action Sports Jacks 24/7 network. I'm Noah Schlicksup, your host, joined by Brody, McGough, Chandler Dantzler, and Jason Hamby helping out in the production booth. We have got a great episode ahead for you today, talking high school football in the Jacksonville area. We've got a Week 1 recap for you here in these first 10-12 minutes of the show. We'll be joined later on by Aiden and Chase Phifer, coming off of a big Week 1 win with Nease football. And then head coach Tim Krause of Bishop Kenny joining us at 8:30. And then to round things out, we've got picks and rankings with Stuart Weber. So, Brody, I'd say we got a pretty good show ahead today.
Yeah, we got a great show lined up for today. We're super excited, and let's get into it.
Yeah, hopefully we have a good show here every week, but let's get this thing kicked off with our game of the week. Last week, the Nease Panthers going into the Shark Tank at Ponte Vedra and coming away with a 38-28 win. Brody, what were some of your key takeaways from that game?
Some of my key takeaways is, one, they were ready to play Week 1. I mean, they showed up to the Shark Tank. It's a big rivalry game. It's a lot of energy. I mean, I think there was around 6,000 people in the stadium, if I'm not incorrect. But offensively, they showed up. They played great. The sophomore QB got his arm loose early, was letting it rip, a lot of screens, and they were doing very well in the passing department that night. And Ordonez, man, he had a night. He ran the ball very well. These Panthers looked great all around on offense. Got a little lazy in the second half, but all in all, they played a great game, and they have a good season ahead of them, Noah.
Absolutely. I think there were a lot of questions about Nease coming into Week 1. You graduate so many key players on offense. Nate Harry, Maddox Spencer, KJ Perry, Tyler Gaznafari, and a good amount of their line as well. People were wondering, is this inexperienced Nease offense going to be able to do the same amount of damage that they did last year? And going up against a tough test in PV Week 1, man, I think that they show don't doubt a Colin Draft's offense.
For sure. I mean, well, like I said, they showed up. 38 points on Ponte Vedra. That's very impressive. That's definitely impressive from the Nease Panthers. And defensively, they were playing lights out in the first half, and again hit a little bit of a lull there in the second half. But all in all, I mean, just an outstanding game from the Nease Panthers.
Who were some of the players that stood out to you in that game for Nease?
I'll start with Aiden Phifer. For a sophomore QB, that's his first start varsity. And he went in there and he played a great game. He slung the ball around. He was throwing with confidence. Rushed the ball a little bit too. Played a great game from him. And Ordonez, man, running the ball hard, north to south back. Will make you miss. A little bit shiftier than you would think. And I think he ran for around 200 yards. Not sure the exact stat on that, but he was
waiting on the stats.
Still waiting on the stats. But, man, those two guys offensively played great. And Crew Casey on defense, absolute stud. I think he had around 13 tackles and somewhere around 4 to 5 tackles for loss. Their whole linebacker core, Noah Hodge and Jacob Curry, they all played great.
Don't forget Cal Hurtado out there.
Cal Hurtado, too. Shout out to him. And they all played great. They were blitzing, covering, doing everything you want your linebackers to do. And all in all, again, great game by Nease.
You know what stood out to me, and I don't think we realized this until a while, but man, they shut down Ponte Vedra's run game. And I looked up the stats. PV, their stats were up on Max Preps today. And check this out: 19 rushing attempts from the Sharks, only 5 handoffs to their running back. 14 came from Cole Rosendahl, the quarterback, who we'll get to in a bit. But Nease held Ponte Vedra to just 3 rushing yards, and that's with 4 returners on that offensive line. A lot of experience and talent there. And man, Nease dominated that line of scrimmage.
Yeah, they played very physical football, and on defense, they stacked the box about 85% of the game. I mean, they had their corners pressed and stacking the box, and they're like, if you're going to beat us, you're going to do it passing the ball. And they had a little bit of success there in the second half passing the ball, but shut down that run game. If you can't run the ball, it's going to be hard to win a ball game.
I tell you what, though, we saw that Ponte Vedra offense start to go towards the end of the second quarter. You know, here's a stat for you. Cole Rosendahl ended up with 348 passing yards. We saw a lot of explosive plays from that passing game, and that's something that I think this Sharks team can carry over into Week 2. They've got some good receivers out there. I think for PV, they just got to figure out a way to run the ball.
Yeah, they do. I mean, and it's weird because usually they are a very good running team. Now, not saying they're not this year, but didn't show it with the stats on that game against the Nease Panthers. Could have been just a very good defensive night for the Nease Panthers front seven. But, yeah, them running for only 5 yards, it's not going to cut it. It's going to be hard to win ball games, not rushing the ball well at all. Yeah, it showed it at the end of the score.
Yeah, the defense got off to a good start for PV, but then losing Talon Babin really seemed to be a crushing blow to that Sharks defense. Hopefully he's all right. They can get him back, but they've got a tough matchup here in Bartram Trail going into week 2, an offense with a big-time running game and an ability to stretch the field with the pass. That will be an interesting matchup to watch. More on that later, but another big game in the area this past week. How about Ed White, the Commanders, taking down Trinity Christian? And Brody, I know you want to talk about it. We released our predictions on social media. You were the only one to pick the Commanders, and man, was that a good pick.
Oh my gosh, yeah. Big underdogs going into the game. It was going to be a big upset if they did it, and they did. They led up the scoreboard. Offensively, King Boylston, the QB, and Marion Laguerre had both 2 rushing touchdowns each, both rushing for well over 100 yards each, and really just running the ball and having a real physical game on offense. They also played very well on special teams. They had a kick return touchdown by Julian Holt, that one of their corners. Also played very good coverage throughout the whole night as a cornerback. Very good game by him. And also, Jacquire Pax had a pick 6 to end the game, and that was the dagger in the books. And yeah, just what a game by Ed White. Way to go in there. Trinity, great program over there, and they went into their house and they won.
Yeah, Ed White ran the ball for 253 yards. They pounded the run, only attempted to pass 7 times, according to Max Preps, and they averaged 7 yards per carry. Man, this game sent a message. What do you think that was from Ed White?
I think last year they were very disappointed with their loss to Trinity, and they wanted a revenge tour this year. And what a great game to start the season off. They were very excited to play. They went down there and they beat them, and they beat them pretty handedly in the second half, especially. And I think that sends a message that they're coming here to play this year, and they're coming here to knock off some big teams. And what a way to do it week 1.
And we love the run with the fullback, too. That's an exciting team to watch. Excited to see what Ed White accomplishes this season. Some more from around the area. Bulls going down to South Florida and taking their opener against Monarch by a score of 34-15 on Thursday night. Naeem Burrows, man, this kid is special. 93 yards receiving with a 53-yard touchdown reception. That was an incredible play. I saw that highlight. My jaw dropped. That was an incredible play there from Burrows. He's going to have a great year this year for Bulls, as the Bulldogs should as a whole. But, man, he added it on defense. Tackle for loss and an interception for Burrows. And then Fleming Island and St. Augustine picking up blowout rivalry wins against Clay and Palatka. University Christian dominating Newberry 47-14, who made a deep playoff run, beat University Christian 44-20 last year. And that's a Newberry team. They beat the Bradford Tornadoes twice last season. That's not a program to mess around with. And UC, they went in there. They played physical football. They got their revenge on them from last year. We got them in the game of the week this week against Bishop Kenny. That should be a really exciting matchup. And then Elijah Keys picking off 3 passes for Fletcher in a 27-13 win over Ribault. Shout out to Iowa commit, by the way. DeAndre Smith scoring 2 touchdowns, 1 rushing, 1 receiving in that one. Hey, go Hawks. We like to see that. Middleburg dominating Westside. They were up 52-0 at half. Middleburg was a team that a lot of coaches at Media Day, we had them sign a form, teams being slept on in the area. Middleburg was mentioned there a few times. They could be a team to watch, a little sleeper team in the area. Bartram Trail and Beachside both dropped their openers, with the Bears losing to Sumner out of Tampa and the Barracudas to Orlando Christian Prep. And then Mandarin coming out with a 42-20 win over Creekside, with Bryson Wright putting on a show, as usual, hauling in a touchdown, pulling off a pick 6 on defense. Brody Jennings also tallied an interception in that game. Now, before we get to our first commercial break, I got a few things for you. Put out something. Give me your hot takes. I put out on social media from Jacksonville High School football in week 1. Got some responses from the Instagram story. How's this first one, Brody? Are you buying or selling this take? Ed White will be a top 5 team in the area by the end of the year.
It's a tough question. I mean, making the top 5, I mean, it means you're a really good football program, especially in this area, being a top 5 team in the area. It's definitely a tough question. They just come off a big win against Trinity, big upset win. Got some more games along the way to win, and definitely got a full schedule left, and 9 games left in the season. They get the bye week this week. They play some more tough teams towards the end of the season, like Baldwin. I think we're calling that game, and they also play Riverside towards the end of the game. Those are
Oakleaf, that's going to be a big game.
Yes, that last 3-game stretch for Ed White will really tell their story. And I think I'm buying. I think I'm buying this.
I think they're going to have a chance to have a really, really good record. And, I mean, they got a certain path to being a top 5 team, I think, in the Jacksonville area. And then how about this? Jacksonville team wins the state championship for the first time since 2021. Brody, buying or selling?
I'm 100% buying this take. I think we have some really good teams in the area. 2 to mention that I would think could get there to the state championship are Bowles and Rains, both 2 powerhouse schools. Had good years last year, and I think they're even better teams going into this year. I think one of them 2 could do it. And also maybe a Nease, maybe a St. Aug. We don't know.
Mandarin.
Mandarin's another good one.
We got some teams out here that can certainly get it done. We're hitting our first commercial break. Back after this with Aiden and Chase Phifer from the Nease Panthers on the Blitz Breakdown.
Most of us know how to throw. But you need to know what to throw. I'm not talking about footballs, baseballs, softballs. We're talking about those items you need to recycle. Republic Services explains it easy. Recycling simplified. 1. Know what to throw. When in doubt, throw it out. 2. Empty, clean, and dry those materials. It takes an extra minute, but it makes a big difference. And 3. Don't bag it. This makes the recycling process faster and more efficient. This is a look at the Republic Services North Florida Recycling Center. You can make this process even more efficient. By utilizing those 3 steps, Republic Services can help you become a better recycler in your home. Learn more at recyclingsimplified.com. Burgers or breakfast, you can get it all at Whataburger. Try something new on the menu or an all-time favorite like the Whataburger Patty Melt.
And now you can have breakfast here at Whataburger 12 hours a day, 11 p.m. until 11 a.m. Menu items like the bacon taquito, sausage taquito, honey butter chicken biscuit. Whether you work the late night shift, just want a snack early in the morning to get your day started, or a little pick-me-up late in the morning, 12 hours a day, breakfast served, 11 p.m. until 11 a.m.
A dozen locations in Jacksonville. You can order pickup or delivery and download the Whataburger app. New rewards members get free Whataburger items when placing their first online order. Just download the app. And for us coffee drinkers, Whataburger has all new hot coffee and iced coffee too. Satisfy that coffee craving at Whataburger 24/7, and it comes in a variety of flavors. Burgers, breakfast, coffee, and so much more. Whataburger, just like you like it. Baker's Sports. It's a hometown business filled with hometown people trying to make you feel right at home.
Chris Conley, Jacksonville University.
Walker Wright, class of 2018, West Nassau High School.
Michael Young, Fletcher High School.
Baker's Sports started in a grassroots way and now outfits much of the Southeast.
Tony Mazzio, Stanwood High School, class of 2002.
High school sports, travel sports, youth sports of all kinds. They are a one-stop shop carrying Nike, Adidas, Under Armour brands, and more.
Vincent Caldes, Oakleaf High School.
Samuel Coffrin, Paxton School for Advanced Studies.
Whether it's sports teams on the field or it's your team in the workplace, like our Action Sports Jacks team, and community events like the Dream 18 Golf Tournament, and many others.
Cole Tilley, Hilliard High School.
Reagan Webb, Eagles View Academy.
Look good, feel good, play good with Baker Sports. Custom sports apparel since 1997. Shop with the hometown team at bakersport.com.
Welcome back in to the Blitz Breakdown on the Action Sports Jacks 24/7 network, talking high school football in the 904. And I think one of the biggest games from week one, obviously, Nease and Ponte Vedra had that as our first game of the week on the Action Sports Jacks 24/7 network. And how about the two cousins, Aiden and Chase Phifer, connecting on 2 touchdowns, key pieces in that Nease offense, and we welcome them on to the show now. Guys, great to have you on the Blitz Breakdown.
Thank you. Great to be here.
Well, great game, first of all, on Friday night. And you guys, cousins, you've been playing sports together. How long have you guys been competing in sports together?
Well, we played flag football 1st through 3rd grade, and it was really amazing. And then he moved to Texas, so we kind of had to go a break. But we always stayed in touch. I came down for a couple tournaments, and then just recently, last year, I decided to move up here to Florida, and we reunited.
How's that been, getting to play sports together again, and what kind of role does that play in your relationship together?
It's been truly a blessing. I've always wanted to play with him just because of the fact we're cousins, and that'd be amazing to fight for the Phifer connection. So really, I just think that's a blessing in disguise.
Aiden, how would you describe your connection to your cousin, seeing him there at tight end? What goes through your mind? What kind of connection you guys have out on the field?
I mean, it's like unstoppable. I know like our connection's tight. So like, I know he's going to come down with the ball 9 times out of 10, if not 10 times out of 10.
Yeah, it's good quality to have. Power forward on basketball, too. I know we were talking to Colin Drafts, and he said he saw him play basketball last winter and said, this guy's a tight end. And, man, great first game for you there for the Nease Panthers. Brody, your question there for the Phifers.
What's up, guys? How you doing tonight?
Doing good.
Good. Great to have you guys on. We're excited to have you here. Can you describe you guys' connection on the field?
Our connection is really growing every practice, every game. And right now, I'd say we're still in the growing phase. But, like, at the end of this season, or going week by week, is growing, like, tremendously. So at the end of this season, we'll truly see what our connection grows to.
That's awesome. That's awesome. What were you guys' nerves like going into the Ponte Vedra game this week?
Not really a lot of nerves this time since I already got the Trinity one under our belts, for me at least. I try to stay calm for all the games, so that helps me a lot.
For me, as it was my first varsity start at Nease, I'm not gonna lie. At first, I was a little nervous, but it's always once you get in we was walking straight past the student section, and it was just electric. The atmosphere was crazy. Students was going crazy. So for me, after the first snap, it was like, all right, I'm here to play football. I'm ready to go.
Yeah, I definitely can understand that. First snap, after that, you feel settled in and ready to play. And when y'all ran onto the field during warm-ups, I mean, it was electric in there. You guys' crowd was cheering, and the Ponte Vedra section was booing. It was definitely electric, and it was fun to watch.
Yes, sir.
Does your family do anything, get together for the games?
Not really. No, I mean, my mom helps out with our team meal. My dad helps out with coaching in the press box. So we'll see each other occasionally, but nothing else really.
Yeah. We were sitting right next to your dad up there on top of the press box. I love seeing his reaction on that first touchdown connection, and saw you guys got a picture with him after the game. What were the first words you guys had in that conversation afterwards?
Phifer to Phifer. Because he's always talked about it. And that first touchdown, it was just amazing.
And how about you guys on the field? When that touchdown, when you caught it, I saw you immediately ran down the field. You caught each other about the 25, 30-yard line. What was your reaction and initial thoughts on the sideline?
I mean, yeah, we just wanted to get that because we've always been wanting it in our varsity game. So we wanted to just get that moment real quick before we got with the rest of the team.
Absolutely. And I have a fun question, something I was interested in, because there's a lot of good NFL connections. You talk about quarterback to receiver, quarterback to tight end. If you could compare your connection as football players to an NFL duo, what would it be?
That's a tough one. I would probably have to go with trying to think.
It's definitely a tough question. I mean,
And there's some
definitely
good
doesn't
ones
come to
out
mind
there.
easy.
Yeah, Tom Brady and Gronk. I mean,
Can't
it's
beat
up
that.
there. Yeah.
Yeah, can't beat Tom Brady and Gronk.
You guys played like it that night too. I mean, and definitely that double coverage catch, man, in the end zone. I mean, that was a spectacular grab. Definitely Gronk-like, I would say.
Yes, sir.
You guys played JV last season together, right?
Yes.
How was that? How was you guys' connection in the JV level? You guys tearing it up or what?
Well, last year was a little bit of a bump in the road for me. I was hurt most of the season, so I wasn't able to perform to my max capability. So,
Were you playing banged up? Is what you were saying?
yes, sir. I was
Yeah.
never fully healthy.
I got you. Love the grit though to keep playing through it, man. That's good stuff. You guys been playing with Nease for a little bit now, and I would just like to know what you guys think about playing underneath Coach Drafts and what that's like.
Oh, it's amazing. Coach Drafts is one of the best coaches in the area, hands down. And then Coach G on the defense side of the ball, we don't get coached by him, but we hear him on the other side of practice field. He gets after it every day, so we know that defense is gonna be good.
Yes, sir.
And we know the coaching staff has our back, and they truly care about the game and how we perform.
What about you, Chase?
That's our energy. Coach Drafts' energy is amazing all the time. And Coach G, at practice, they feed off of each other. And some practices, it's like a game atmosphere. I think that's what makes us how the games are. How can I put this? When we get to the game, it's like we've already played a game during that week of practice. So we're super prepared. So the game is, I wouldn't say easy, but we're just extremely prepared.
Would you say you guys' practices are very competitive, and the coaches are even Coach G and Coach Drafts even getting after it at practice, being very competitive with each other as well?
Yes, sir.
100%.
Yeah, that makes sense. Just another question for you guys. What do you feel like you guys proved last Friday night?
I think we proved that our young offense and our returning defense can get it going. I know we had a lot of doubters going into the game. No, we didn't have a lot of returning starters. But I think we just proved ourselves on offense especially. And our defense proved ourselves too.
Definitely did. What about you, Chase?
Totally, 100% agree. Well, everybody was saying, oh, we lost a bunch of starters, pretty much the same thing Aiden said. But I think the main thing with us, we got to take week by week, and get better as each week goes. And we'll see where we are through the season.
Yes, sir.
I've always wondered about the Nease offense. It seems like year in and year out, consistent performers and under Colin Drafts. What do you feel like the main reasons for that are?
I mean, back to our practices.
Mhm.
They're some of the most competitive practices I've been around. We're held to the highest standard every day. And the amount of film on and off the field we're supposed to do and do is a lot. And we're always being pushed every day by Coach Drafts, Coach G, and all the other coaches.
Yeah, Aiden, being a quarterback in that system, you look at some of the guys that Colin Drafts has produced and seems to be kind of a quarterback whisperer. He's a quarterback himself. What are some of the benefits of having him teaching you about the position?
I mean, he knows the game really well. So one of the main things we do is our film. So we like to know the team and everything they do before the game. So that way we kind of know what their tendencies are and where to go with the ball and make sure we're on the same page.
Chase, how about for you being a tight end and growing into this Nease offense? What's the biggest thing that you've learned making that jump from JV to varsity?
It's a incredible change. The expectation is different. You're expected to do more. But when I was transitioning into tight end, everybody was there for me. Coach Phifer, my coach, he was there. He was very supportive. Coach G was very supportive. Drafts was very, very supportive. And I feel like it made it a lot easier having my back. So making that transition. So it was just a lot. But we made it through.
Yeah. So we wanted to take the focus a little bit away from football. We've been talking a lot about your connection in this interview, so we thought we'd go ahead and test it if that's all right with you guys. We got some fun off-the-field questions. Want to see how well you guys are connected, how well you know each other. First off, Aiden, what is Chase's favorite type of food?
It's got to be like country food. He loves cornbread, beans, any like country down food.
I had Mission Barbecue for lunch today. Is that right up your wheelhouse, you'd say?
Yes, sir.
Hey, you could never go wrong with that. I mean, that's some great food you guys just named there. Making me a little hungry sitting here. Next one would be for Chase. What's Aiden's favorite movie?
There's a bunch of them. I wouldn't say he has a favorite, but I'm not sure on that, to be honest with you.
All right, let's see. I'd say so. We're 1 for 2 so far, I'd say.
Yeah, 1 for 2.
Yeah.
So let's try to improve this percentage here. Aiden, who was Chase's childhood idol?
His childhood idol. I think it's got to be Megatron. His nickname was.
Man, Calvin Johnson.
Yeah,
didn't like
Calvin
him
Johnson.
growing
We
up?
always compared him and when we played flag, he was always going up and getting like Calvin.
It's a good comparison with the height, the athleticism. Last question here, Brody. What you got here for Chase? Get back on the board.
Chase, what is Aiden's guilty pleasure song?
Aiden looks a little worried right here.
Probably he probably doesn't have like the one song, but I'd say like old 90s music would definitely be one of
That
his.
always hits.
Yeah, for sure. I mean, I'm bumping that in the car the way here.
Yeah, absolutely. Well, guys, really appreciate your time. Great game on Friday, and best of luck the rest of the way with the Nease Panthers.
Thank you.
Thank you.
That is Aiden and Chase Phifer on the Blitz Breakdown, back with Bishop Kenny head coach Tim Krause after this break on Action Sports Jacks 24/7.
When it's time to get a new car for anyone in your family, just remember, nobody but Nimnick, the #1 Buick GMC dealer in Jacksonville. Get the latest price breaks on 2023 and 2024 models or the newest 2025 vehicles in the showroom on Phillips Highway or shop online at nimnickbuickgmc.com 24 hours a day. GMC Sierras, Yukons, and the redesigned Acadias, or get the all-new redesigned line with Buicks. It's nobody but Nimnick, and part of the reason why is this is a first-class buying experience here at Nimnick Buick GMC. You're not just a customer, you're a friend. This is about getting a vehicle that best fits you and getting you on the road, and also helping you and your family down the road. Nimnick has a treating you right guarantee, courtesy, respect, fairness, and most Buicks, GMCs, and Jacksonville's only Car Bravo dealer, nobody but Nimnick. Who has put in the most years and stands behind a better experience? Nobody but Nimnick. GMC, we are professional grade. If you need a quality play this football season at your home, call That One Painter First Coast. Locally owned and operated, experienced employees, no builder grade materials. And there's more, and for that we throw it to Noah Schlicksup. That One Painter First Coast can apparently help your kicking game too.
Well, after my failure on skinny sticks last year on Creekside game day, I've spent a lot of time out here at Creekside practicing my kicks. There's only one issue. How is that even possible? The good news is I know exactly who can help. That One Painter can handle all your painting needs, from field goal posts to cabinets to stucco. They got you covered. Though they may not be able to help with my kicking, they can certainly help with the posts. Call That One Painter First Coast today for all your painting needs at 904-495-1373.
If you don't see a pit, it ain't legit. When you hear that, you think Bono's Pit Barbecue, a staple in Northeast Florida now for 75 years. A place that feels like home with friendly service, a meeting place for friends, family, or business occasions. On the menu, the corn nuggets are a favorite in our house, but there's something for everyone. Sandwiches, platters, salads, sides, desserts, and family feasts. You see Bono's all over the place in Northeast Florida. You know, there are almost 20 locations in the Jacksonville area now, so Stop on by, sit down, and dine in with Bono's. You can also take it to go. There are drive-thrus in many of the locations, and they have delivery options too. Just download the Bono's app to make things easy. I signed up for the loyalty program, and you can too, to get special offers. If Jacksonville is home, few things feel more Jacksonville than Bono's Pit Barbecue. Celebrate 75 years and many more to come. Bono's Pit Barbecue. If you don't see a pit, it ain't legit.
Taking a look ahead to our game of the week Friday night, we've got University Christian and Bishop Kenny, two teams who are one win away from the Final Four last season. First game of the year for Bishop Kenny. University Christian coming off of a big-time win against Newberry last Friday night. Brody, really excited to call this game out at Bishop Kenny on Friday night. Should be a good one, and from what I hear, great atmosphere out there as well.
Yeah, I've played football around here when I was younger. I've always heard Bishop Kenny has a great atmosphere, and their football games are electric. Super excited to go over there. University Christian coming off a big win. They're very excited to go in there and play some football, and yeah, I'm excited to call the game Friday.
Yeah, a lot of returners on that offensive line for Bishop Kenny. You got 4 returning players there. 1,300-yard running back is a sophomore, coming back with a very good defensive line, the strongest point on that university team, according to Coach David Penland, and I'm really excited to see that matchup in specific.
Oh, yeah, Bishop Kenny returning 4 starters, like you just said, and the defensive line for University Christian, they're looking really good this year, looking really physical. They played a very physical game last Friday, and just excited to watch that matchup. Very good highlight right there. I'm very excited to watch the Bishop Kenny O-line go against that University Christian D-line.
And University Christian had an explosive game offensively their last time out. And you think about, what that team brings to the table. Bishop Kenny has got some good linebackers coming back. Their corners return. They got to replace those safeties. They'll have some guys rotating in and out on Friday night. And interesting enough, you put up 47 points, but University Christian rotating a couple of quarterbacks, and you were a part of one of those teams in high school who rotated a couple of different guys. What is that like for a team?
A lot of people would say in the beginning of a season doing that, they would kind of be frowned upon and be maybe like we're having QB problems or something like that. Like we don't have a designated guy and we don't have our identity yet on offense. But for the team that I played on, we went 9-3 and made a playoff run, and we had 2 QBs, and we just rode the hot hand, and that seems like that's what the recipe is for University Christian.
Yeah, I think one of them is a little more mobile than the other, and University Christian, I think a team that, right out the gate, firing, that's a team that could definitely sneak up on people as maybe one of the better teams in the area that maybe wasn't getting that preseason attention that they might have deserved.
Yeah, they got some playmakers outside. They got a great defense this year. That's their highlight point, I would say, as of right now. I mean, they only played 1 game, but their defense is definitely a stacked-looking defense, very physical, like I said earlier, and they get off the ball, and they play bully ball.
Yeah, bully ball. How about Coach Penland? We got on that call. I think he said bully ball about 4 times, talking about University Christian and their identity. They like to be physical in those games. They're fun to watch.
Yeah, definitely fun to watch. I think physical football, very physical football is the best football to watch. You love just 2 teams very hungry to win and getting off the ball and firing on all cylinders and just ready to go make some big hits and big plays.
Absolutely. And he talked about making sure that they're conditioned as well. They want to wear their opponents out, and we saw that against Newberry. University Christian exploded in that second half in particular. They went out there and they created a large separation, and they were more conditioned. They were ready for 48 minutes. How important is that for a football team?
Being in great condition is one of the most important things in football. If you're too tired to play, you're not going to be able to make good plays against this other team who conditioned well, and they're playing well because they're all fired up, they're healthy, they're not out of breath after every play. They also catch their breath a lot faster, and going up against a team that's a lot more conditioned to you, that's a big advantage, and I don't think talked about enough in high school football.
How do you prepare for that throughout the summer? I mean, you're going into a season, and there's a lot that goes into getting ready to for Friday nights, and you're working out in June, July when it's blazing hot. How does that transfer to Friday nights, especially in the fall when it cools down a little bit?
It transfers very well, especially if you're working very hard in the summer. I mean, I think most high school teams in the area practice for around 3 hours a day in the summer. I think they'll have 4 to 5 practices a week. And being in that heat for that long of time and getting used to the humidity and stuff and breathing very hard through these workouts, all the running conditionings, all the footwork and footwork drills you have to do, and just running through normal football drills and football practice in the summer can definitely help your team with conditioning, and that's what University Christian is all about.
Well, how about their opponent, Bishop Kenny? We're joined now by their head man, Tim Krause, joining the show. Coach Krause, great to have you on.
Thanks, guys. Appreciate you having me.
Absolutely. We're getting into your Friday night week. Well, it's your first game of the year in week 2, and we were just talking about conditioning. Your guys are going to have to be conditioned. We're talking 10 straight weeks of football. How are you getting your guys ready for that experience?
Yeah, I mean, we're in a unique spot in that we have guys that are also playing both ways. But our kids have worked really hard throughout the summer. Our kids have done a really good job being conditioned, I think, in the way that we practice, getting a lot of reps, working really hard. And we've got a really physical group this year and a really tough group of kids. They're ready for 10 straight weeks.
Yeah, and we were talking about physicality, and you've got a physical opponent in University Christian. How are you preparing these guys for this first game, and has your approach to getting your team ready to go out the gates changed over your years as a head coach?
Yeah, and I think it's hard as a team like ours to kind of match. We don't have the depth that University Christian has, so creating that scout team is really challenging. They're a very physical team up front. Obviously, you don't have that in your second and third guys that are serving as your scout team. So I think our kids have been prepared for the physicality with as much best on best as we can. And yeah, we're excited to go play.
Definitely, Coach. And you coach a lot of Bishop Kenny teams so far. I think you're going into, if I'm not wrong, your 6th year coaching this year. And you've coached a lot of good Bishop Kenny teams. You've had coach some teams that beat Bulls, I think not too long ago, 2 to 3 years ago. And I just want to know, what do you like specifically about coaching this football team this year?
Yeah, I think this team is really special because we've got a lot of kids that have played a ton of football for us. You know, we have a lot of guys that played as sophomores, juniors, and some guys that were on the field a handful of years ago, in some big games. Guys that played a lot of snaps for us in big football last year in the playoffs. So it's a really fun group of kids that we've gotten really close with, and excited to watch them at their careers.
Definitely, Coach. Definitely. And big game coming up Friday, as we've been saying. And we're just wondering, how are you going to get your guys prepared for this? Is your week 1, this pretty much your week 1 matchup happening in week 2. How are you going to prepare your guys for the game?
Yeah, it's been a challenge. I've actually been really excited about having the week 1 bye. It's not something I planned for with a scheduling issue that we had. But I think it's gotten us to where we were able to look at the things we did in the kickoff classic. Sometimes you just jump right into game plan, playing someone else. So we got a chance to kind of settle down, think about the things we wanted to be better at, look at the areas we wanted to really improve, and work on ourselves for a week before we start in this with game plan.
How are you? What's your message to this team? What's your messaging been going into a game like this right out the gate? Always a tough going into an opponent the quality of UC.
Yeah, I mean, I think the hype and messaging coming from coaches at this point in the year is really overblown. I think our kids know the expectation and the standard and how we want to play. No pregame speech that I'm going to give that. It's whether or not we've hammered that home over the course of the year, over the course of the summer. And our kids have done a really good job with that. I think they know the expectation, where we are as a team, where we want to go. They know the fact that you guys are covering the game, the fact in front of our home fans, in front of our home atmosphere. I don't think that I really have to say to get them motivated.
Absolutely. What are your expectations for this year and this squad?
Well, I think, the first thing we always want to look at is, can we win a district championship? I think it always starts there. And for us, I think it's where we put a lot of some really talented people the next couple of weeks, some really good defenses, and especially want to get ourselves ready for district play. And then, as well as we can play, lead to that. And if we can win district championship, you've always got a chance in the playoffs. He gets good breaks and gets so that's really where our goals start, and then we've kind of built from.
And this game is at Bishop Kenny. I think that's a huge advantage going into this week. And just a simple question: what makes Friday nights at Bishop Kenny so special?
Well, I think the atmosphere of our student section, the environment of our stadium on the river is just a really special place. I've coached high school football for 22 years now, and a lot of those have been to Bishop Kenny, but I've been a lot of different places, and there's not a place that I can find like it. It's really special. Our kids revel in the fact that they get to play in the environment on Friday nights. So the fact that they get to play some big games at home is awesome for them.
I'm really excited to experience that on the river. I've heard great place to catch a game, so getting excited to get out to BK this Friday night. And what stands out to you about your opponent, UC? What are you game planning for them as a team?
Well, I mean, Coach Penland apparently said it. The bully ball that they like to play, it's a very different style than some of the teams we've played in the past. It's a team that, from a matchup point, you've got to really look at areas that they have some really talented players. Your kids have got to be ready to match them physicality-wise. And then you just got to really do a great job of everything. They're going to make some plays. They have too many talented players on both sides of the ball to not make plays. So for us, it's whether or not we can have physicality, we can be prepared for that, and then do the things that we do really well.
Physicality is big on the line, and I know for you guys, you've got a new quarterback this year, some new receivers, so that passing game probably going to look a little different, getting those guys into it and going up against this team. How important is it to establish the running game this week especially?
Yeah, I think it's going to be challenging for us. They're really good in the defensive line. The things they do on defense puts a lot of pressure on the run game. You've got to execute at a really high level. But I think we've got some kids that we want to make sure that we touch it to. We feel like all the guys at our skill positions are guys that we can get the ball to and go play. So finding ways to spread the ball around a little bit to maintain a little bit of balance and run the ball.
Last thing we got for you here. What's your message to Bishop Kenny fans going into your first game of the year in the regular season?
Well, I think our fans, know what to expect. I think they have a great time when they're out there. I just hope that they focus on the game instead of, the fun that's going on in the section. I just hope they're excited for our kids. They always do a great job supporting. We always have a ton of people that are out there. I know that they have a big game for us. We're looking forward to having them out there.
Absolutely, Coach. Really looking forward to getting out there Friday night. We appreciate your time, and we'll see you out there on Friday.
Thank you guys. Looking forward to it.
Thank you to Coach Tim Krause for joining us here on the Blitz Breakdown. Now we get into our picks and rankings portion of this show, and we've got Stuart Weber joining us here from Action Sports Jacks to present the Action Sports Jacks team's picks. And there's Stuart Weber. There's that camera, too. I had not seen that yet. And we've got some great games out here. You've seen it on the screen, the games that Action Sports Jacks will be out at this season. And we'll get into these picks and rankings coming back after this break here on the Action Sports Jacks 24/7 network.
Most of us know how to throw. But you need to know what to throw. I'm not talking about footballs, baseballs, softballs. We're talking about those items you need to recycle. Republic Services explains it easy. Recycling simplified. 1. Know what to throw. When in doubt, throw it out. 2. Empty, clean, and dry those materials. It takes an extra minute, but it makes a big difference. And 3. Don't bag it. This makes the recycling process faster and more efficient. This is a look at the Republic Services North Florida Recycling Center. You can make this process even more efficient. By utilizing those 3 steps, Republic Services can help you become a better recycler in your home. Learn more at recyclingsimplified.com. Burgers or breakfast, you can get it all at Whataburger. Try something new on the menu or an all-time favorite like the Whataburger Patty Melt.
And now you can have breakfast here at Whataburger 12 hours a day, 11 p.m. until 11 a.m. Menu items like the bacon taquito, sausage taquito, honey butter chicken biscuit. Whether you work the late night shift, just want a snack early in the morning to get your day started, or a little pick-me-up late in the morning, 12 hours a day, breakfast served, 11 p.m. until 11 a.m.
A dozen locations in Jacksonville. You can order pickup or delivery and download the Whataburger app. New rewards members get free Whataburger items when placing their first online order. Just download the app. And for us coffee drinkers, Whataburger has all new hot coffee and iced coffee too. Satisfy that coffee craving at Whataburger 24/7, and it comes in a variety of flavors. Burgers, breakfast, coffee, and so much more. Whataburger, just like you like it. Baker's Sports. It's a hometown business filled with hometown people trying to make you feel right at home.
Chris Conley, Jacksonville University.
Walker Wright, class of 2018, West Nassau High School.
Michael Young, Fletcher High School.
Baker's Sports started in a grassroots way and now outfits much of the Southeast.
Tony Mazzio, Stanwood High School, class of 2002.
High school sports, travel sports, youth sports of all kinds. They are a one-stop shop carrying Nike, Adidas, Under Armour brands, and more.
Vincent Caldes, Oakleaf High School.
Samuel Coffrin, Paxton School for Advanced Studies.
Whether it's sports teams on the field or it's your team in the workplace, like our Action Sports Jacks team, and community events like the Dream 18 Golf Tournament, and many others.
Cole Tilly, Hilliard High School.
Reagan Webb, Eagles View Academy.
Look good, feel good, play good with Baker Sports. Custom sports apparel since 1997. Shop with the hometown team at bakersport.com.
Welcome back into the Blitz breakdown on Action Sports Jacks 24/7. We're getting into the fourth quarter here of our show, Picks and Rankings. Hey, this is the fun part, right? It's all fun, but man, I really enjoy these. I've enjoyed prepping for these, and we've got Stuart Weber here with us, Chandler Dantzler in the production booth, getting ready for these picks. Stuart, great to have you here on the inaugural episode of the Blitz breakdown.
Yeah, this is planning everything. I mean, I planned your whole game of the week schedule for the whole year, so I guess I did do that already. But, you know, a lot of planning goes into it for me, and then seeing and execute it is great. So I like just being able to sit here and talk with you guys here about the picks and really the big matchups that we have coming up for week 2 after a fun first Friday night of high school football. Obviously a good one down in St. Johns County for you guys, which, by the way, anyone who missed it can go check it out on our Action Sports Jacks YouTube page. Of course, you've tweeted out and Instagrammed and sent all this stuff everywhere. It's now, you can find everything everywhere now, which is great. But yeah, as a reminder, you can always check out our stuff on Action Sports Jacks. And yeah, I'm excited. Week 2, another
Find
week.
It everywhere, 24/7 on Action Sports Jacks 24/7.
It's like it's all the time.
Yeah. I know, right?
It's been a lot of fun to have this platform. This 24/7 network's been awesome for that exact reason. You know, linear TV, you have a set amount of time. You got a 30-minute show. That's all you got. You know, and sometimes you don't get 30 minutes. Sometimes you're doing a 2-minute sportscast, a 3-minute sportscast. Well, with the 24/7 network, we can do 4 hours, 5 hours of high school football coverage and let it breathe. Let the people enjoy what they want to see, which for us is the Zone Blitz starting up this Friday night. Obviously, you guys have another big game of the week stream, which will go on as well. It's going to be a lot of fun. Looking forward to this week.
And a great year for high school football. A lot of talent in the area and a lot of great teams. And we got a good matchup here going on. Riverside and Fleming Island, our first game we're going to pick this week. The Generals coming off of a loss to Oakleaf 23-14. Fleming Island beat their rivals Clay 42-20 week 1. The Generals gave up 28 points per game last year, allowed 35 to the Knights last season. Won this matchup 48-39 in a shootout last season, but I'm expecting a little more defense here in this one. Fleming Island has got a good defensive unit anchored by Sebastian Cruz and Jarius Rogers, and I'll get us started with my pick. I'm taking what some may see as an upset, Fleming Island taking down Riverside.
Yeah, Fleming Island and Riverside, it's a great game coming up. Excited for it. It's a great week 2 matchup, and Fleming Island, I mean, yes, some would consider it an upset, but some think they got their number this week. But I'm gonna have to go on the flip side of you. I'm taking Riverside. I think they played a really solid game against Oakleaf last week, and their defense looks pretty stout. Expected that Oakleaf game to be a shootout, but was wrong on that. But I think Riverside's going to handle this one.
All right. Well, I actually was at the Riverside opener against Oakleaf. That was one of the games I covered this past Friday night. And after seeing what I saw, I'm going to take Fleming Island. It's tough to beat a team at the Rock. You know, they love playing at home there in Fleming Island. Coach McPherson is such a veteran coach in our area. I know that group is going to be well disciplined. I know that group is going to come with a great game plan. And here you go. I'm taking Fleming Island as well. I'm right there with you, Noah. I think Golden Eagles are going to get the job done.
How about producer Chandler? What's the pick back there?
You know what? I got Fleming Island. This kind of was a tough one. We kind of went back and forth in our group chat when we were going after it. I know Brody went Riverside. I know Noah was kind of in between of going Riverside or Fleming. You know, I got Fleming on this one. They had a big win in a rival game last week, 42-20. So I got Fleming on this.
Fleming Island, a team that you had to replace some key players on offense, but they could have themselves a very good squad this year. Taking a look at our picks for that game. Now on to Clay at Yulee. Clay coming off of that loss to Fleming Island. Yulee took down Union County, who went 10-2 last year, 21-6. Me, I'm starting this off. Give me the Yulee Hornets week 2 against Clay.
Yeah, I'm just gonna tell you on this one, Noah. I think Yulee's gonna take care of business. I think they're looking really good this year, and expecting some big things out of them this year.
Yeah, you see the clean sweep there across the board. Everybody jumping on that Yulee bandwagon, and Coach Doherty's group kind of had a down year last year. They played a tough schedule, had to play some really good teams. Now, here's the thing. When you talk about schedules, if you played a tough schedule last year, guess what? You're probably playing a very similar schedule this year because you schedule them 2 years at a time. So they certainly have a good test ahead of them this year. But, man, Yulee, so impressive going down to Lake Butler and winning against Union County. I know they had a coaching change in Lake Butler, but still, that team is always ready to play in the rural ranks. And for Yulee to go get a win there shows me a little something. So I'm going with Coach KD and the Hornets to get another win here on Friday night.
Chandler Dantzler.
You guys already saw it. We put the graphic up. I'm going to go Yulee. Just like Stewart said, they had a great week 1 against Union County. I think it'll be a close game, but I got Yulee.
Next game up. This will be the only one we're not covering here on the Zone Blitz or the game of the week this week, and that is Jackson at Ribault. Jackson coming in 1-0, Ribault 0-1. Ribault struggled offensively there against Fletcher, but this is a team that averaged less than 10 points per game last year. They're able to put up 13. Defense had a good showing. They actually beat Jackson last year. That was one of their only wins. I think it was their only win against the Tigers last year, and it was the same thing. Their defense showed out, and that's what it's going to take for them to come out with the win. But I'm taking Andrew Jackson in this matchup.
Yeah, I'm going to agree with you again, Noah. I think Andrew Jackson's going to take the win here. I think it's going to be a defensive game. I don't think it's going to be high scoring by any means, but it is high school football. You never know. Shootouts can turn into defensive games, and defensive games can turn into shootouts. And I think this one's going to be Andrew Jackson all the way.
Yeah, I have seen many a game that I thought was going to be a shootout turn into just a knuckle dragger, and you're like, oh, what is going on? What am I watching? Please, somebody score a touchdown. I need to go to my second game. And that's so often how we do it in high school football, is that we'll go one game and then to another game, and so you end up in that spot where you're just like, I need a touchdown. I don't care who scores it. Somebody get it for me. Yeah, I'm going with Coach Bobby Ramsey and the Jackson Tigers. I think they get a win on the road. By the way, shout out to Ribault on their brand new field. They'll get to host that game. Of course, they opened it up in the preseason this year. Brand new field, brand new school. The school looks awesome. So shout out to the Trojans. They're going to have a great game day environment, I'm sure. But I got to go with Jackson.
I'm going to go with Jackson, too. This is my second year around high school football, really like digging into it. I haven't seen much of both around you guys a lot, so I've been listening to a lot of high school football the past 2 weeks. I'm gonna go with Jackson for this.
Now we skipped over this one. This was supposed to be our first game we covered, but it's a good matchup. Trinity Christian coming off of that loss to Ed White, going on the road to the bowl school. Interesting fact I found today, Trinity hasn't started 0-2 since 2005.
Wow.
Do they go 0-2 to start this year? I think so. I'm taking the Bulldogs. That's just another level right there. Tough team to beat.
Crazy stat you pulled up there, Noah. I was not aware of that either. But Bulls is too big, too physical, too talented. I mean, they're a very disciplined team. They're disciplined year in and year out. And again, as we said earlier, I think we think they're going to be one of the teams to make a run in the area towards a state championship. And I just think, again, too big, too disciplined, too much firepower. I'm going to go with Bulls High School in this one.
Yeah, you see it right there on the screen. Everyone's picking Bulls. I think it speaks for itself. They're really talented. They got a stacked roster, and they'll be at home. Trinity Christian last year was young, which means they're probably still a little shaded that way. We'll see how it goes. Hopefully a good one, because we picked it as one of our Zone Blitz streaming games. So we want it to be a really good down-to-the-wire game. We'll see how it goes down there at the Bowl School.
Yeah, like you guys all said, I'm going to go with Bulls. Very dominant team. Trinity kind of had a tough loss last week against Ed White. I really just don't see them turning it around and beating a team like Bulls next week.
Bartram Trail at Ponte Vedra. PV took this game 28-21 last year, and I think they'll do it again this year. I think they established the run this week and get a win over Bartram Trail.
Ponte Vedra.
This was the hardest game this week for me to pick. I think both teams are very talented and very disciplined programs as well. I think it's going to go. I think this game's going to be a shootout. I know I keep talking about shootouts and defensive games.
We love shootouts.
I love shootouts. I love watching some points on the board. And I think if you want to watch an offensive game, I think this is going to be the one this week to watch. Sharks coming off a loss against the Panthers. Bartram coming off a loss against Sumner. One of them will be still no wins after this game, but I think that team will be the Sharks. I'm taking Bartram Trail on this one.
Does that hurt you to say Bartram Trail is going to win a little bit? No. All right.
We're unbiased professionals.
Very unbiased.
Okay. How's that Skinny Sticks promo? We still got you wearing your Creekside gear in now, but that's
old.
okay. We'll get that fixed up here before you know it. Don't worry about that. I also think Bartram Trail is going to get the win. So I'm right there with you, Brody. I know Ponte Vedra's got a really strong team. I know Steve Price is a really good coach. You saw it in the second half, right?
Mm-hmm.
How much they were able to come back against Nease, but something just tells me that Bartram Trail is going to win a tight one in the fourth quarter.
Yeah, I'm going to go with Ponte Vedra on this one. Both of you guys called the game, Brody, Noah. You kind of saw like what they were putting together in that second half. I think that's the real Ponte Vedra team. They almost came back, down 38, what was it?
31-7 and a half. Yeah.
So I think you really saw their team in the second half. So that's why I'm going to go Ponte Vedra. It's going to be a good game, though.
All right, we're running a little low on time here. Me and Brody aren't picking this game of the week because we are calling it. But Stewart and Chandler, who you got for UC and Bishop Kenny?
So University Christian was the second game that I went to this past Friday night. And wow. What a statement to make to start the year. You go and beat a team like Newberry, and I was walking that sideline. I was on that Newberry sideline. That team has some monsters on it. They have some big boys. There's a reason they beat Bradford twice last year, Newberry. And yet University Christian pulled away and blew them out. Blew them out after that first quarter was tied at 14. I gotta give it to Coach Penland and the fighting Christians. I think they fight their way over to the river, get a win against Bishop Kenny. We haven't seen the Crusaders yet. We'll see what they can do. But what I saw from UC makes me want to pick the fighting Christians here on Friday night.
I'm gonna have to go with Stewart here. Huge win over Newberry. 47-14 it was. I haven't seen much of BK, so I kind of lean towards the UC side. So I'm gonna go with UC with a good win this Friday.
So there are our picks for this week. They'll be up on social media tomorrow, so you can scream at us all you want. But there are
make sure you scream at the right station, coaches.
Yeah.
Pick out the right people.
Exactly. And to round out this show, our first action sports. It's a great intro. Why not? We got the rankings here to round things out, and this is a tough one. I feel like the top two teams are pretty set in this area. So we got Bulls number 1, Reigns number 2. I feel like that can go either way, but this is what we got. The Bulldogs coming in at 1, Vikings number 2. Nease, really liked what we saw from them week 1. So we've got number 3, the Nease Panthers, followed by St. Augustine and Mandarin. Ed White, after that win against Trinity, coming in at number 6, and then Oakleaf and Bradford rounding things out in our first Action Sports Jacks rankings of the year, at least for now. So that will do it for our first show of the Blitz Breakdown. Thank you all for tuning in. Thank you to everyone who joined. For Noah Schlicksup, Brody McGough, Chandler Dantzler, and Stuart Weber, I am Noah Schlicksup, signing off saying see you next week and see you Friday.